A smile on your face. How were you playing it out there in this final? Because Kern Pharma had 3 men. Their one rider went up the road and it looked like everything was locked down.
Yeah, it already started when the break formed. I knew against 40 guys alone it will be a difficult task today. And then I ended up with Vacek and Kung off the front. Yeah. And we did a good rhythm, and I knew if we have a solid gap into the climb, it can be a good way, because the other guys need to sacrifice, or the other teams need to sacrifice some guys. But in the end, congrats to Kern, because they played it out perfectly in the final. And on a climb like this, you cannot follow everyone. You need to try to do a good rhythm. But in the end, we couldn't catch him anymore.
Well, what is it with cycling when after Berrade is gone there, that it looked like all of you were just watching each other, waiting for someone to finally do it? What is it?
You mean in the last downhill?
Yeah, the last.
Yeah, because you basically, if you do super hard pull, it will be difficult to sprint. And in the end, everybody does 90% pulls. And I tried again on top to get a gap, but unfortunately they came back, and then I had to basically also save my legs a little bit for sprint.
Murray, you've been in so many breaks, and it's been such a great performance in this Vuelta, but sometimes have you felt, I wish I hadn't been in the break yesterday, I wish I hadn't tried the day before, because that would have made the difference?
No, I think today I had great legs, I think, and at the end of the second week I was a bit tired after the 2 breaks, but in the end we made it 2 times to the finish. I could race for the win. In the end, there on the uphill finish, I didn't have the legs. On this stage today, I think I had the legs, but the tactics didn't play out.
Okay, just a second. Hard day racing out there. What you make of EF's moves with Richard Carapaz and getting rid of Landa?
Oh yeah, it was hard. I mean, no surprises like every stage. So yeah, followed up. Yeah, I don't know, a couple of more to go, hard ones.
O'Connor was in difficulty for a moment there. Did you ever think at one point to put Red Bull in the front and kind of drill it, or no?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard racing, so I mean, still a lot of climbs to come, and yeah.
Save it for the next 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, it was not much saving probably today. I mean, when you save, probably you're dropped, then it's hard to get the time back. So, I mean, you have to be there and just race every day. Thanks, guys.
I think maybe it's not the case of like letting us do it, but the starts here are just mental. Like the first hour, everyone just going fucking bananas, really. You saw today like 42 guys in that group. Even crosswinds in the start, it was ridiculous. It was so hard, so yeah, fucking tough day out.
There were obviously a lot of teams with multiple guys in that group, so I've spoken to a couple of GC riders. It wasn't telegraphed, they didn't know exactly what you were planning, but this is the way you guys have ridden this Vuelta, isn't it? You have picked days, and I guess it was completely choreographed today.
Yeah, I think the cat's out of the bag now. It's obvious that we're here for Richie, and I think if you look at the start sheet, you could say, oh well, maybe Darren and myself could target a stage, but I think within ourselves we're all in for Richie to come here and do the best result we can. We want that to be a win. But yeah, no, it's been a tough race so far. I think I'm going to say it's the hardest Grand Tour I've done. Yeah, I think I'd put it up there. I think there's also normally you get time trial day, sprint day and a rest day or something like so in the second week, we've not had that in the second week. It's been summit finish. It's been 3,000 metres climbing every day. And like I said, I don't think today on paper you'd have gone, that's a definitive GC day. But it's just been raced so aggressively and so hard that it's just forcing the race to go that way. And I think we've still got, you might even say we've got the Queen stage to come.
like I say, it was well executed. It worked in the sense that you eliminated Landa. Landa started the day behind Richard. When you go back to the bus, do you think the director sportifs will consider that it has been a complete success, or did they also want to? Obviously, ideally, you would have liked to distance other people as well.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say, really, isn't it? Because you can't really see like accumulative fatigue in other people. Like, you don't know how other people are feeling. I know over the top of the climb, O'Connor started to show a little bit of weakness. He's only got 5 seconds to Roglic now, isn't he? In a race like this, it's on Saturday, what's 5 seconds? They're on the same time basically, aren't they? So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be a funny one. It'll be it's going to be war now, isn't it? I think Quick Stepper, obviously, they're not going to give us any help like potentially if we need it, or it's their arch enemies now. I think we've dug ourselves we've made our cake and we've got to eat it now.
Make peace with the dinosaur over there. He was looking a bit forlorn earlier.
Yeah.
The T-Rex.
Yeah, I find it funny how they've all got the dinosaur names on the top of the on the bike, and you see William Jr. Leclercosaurus Rex. Like, I don't know if that's like an inside joke, if they've just like tried to put the longest name they can on his bike, but yeah, it's quite amusing seeing them all with their dinosaur names.
Just one other thing I wanted to ask. We didn't actually see you sitting up and waiting. How long did you have to wait? Did you sort of park up? Did you go for a coffee? Just tell us about that.
Yeah, we had a little tea party on the KOM. I don't think any cameras picked it up, but yeah, we were getting our glasses cleaned in the car and we were filling up on drinks and everything. We were there for about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe more. It felt like a lifetime. I think I kept every group that came over. I was like, all right, this is it, get going. And then like, all right, okay, wait for the next one. Yeah, we had a little tea party.
Just to follow up on those tactics, and so the thinking was this morning, maybe try to blow it up and blow up the whole race. As Daniel said, obviously Landa was behind Carapaz at the start of the day. That's good, distance him even further, but the idea of thinking behind EF Education was just to blow the whole darn thing up. I
don't think necessarily to blow the whole darn thing up. I think, like I said, the race has been so hard and it's just been so aggressively raced. It's sort of naturally taken that course of path, all right, yeah, we went out to say there's a climb that we can do a lot of damage on, and we know the shape Rich is in. Obviously, we don't know the shape everyone else is in, but we'll roll the dice, and that's essentially why myself and Dull were up the road and got to the top of that climb and went, right, okay, let's pull over. And like I say, there's no plan B. It's all in for Richard, really.
Thanks, James. Pablo, what's this win mean for you and the team today, man? 3rd win.
Yeah, it's the best. I think it's better than my victories, and it's incredible to the team. 3 victories and a victory for Urko with a best friend.
How do you do it? I mean, 2nd division team here, having the numbers in the move with 3 riders, and then schooling some of these World Tour teams in the Tour of Spain.
It's unbelievable. And before this Vuelta, I tried to do the best to do the team, and the guys is another level in all the stages, and this victory is incredible to the team.
Thanks, Pablo.
Any moves from the guys in the GC in Puerto Herrera?
Yeah, for sure. It was a very challenging climb, so for sure you always need to be ready. And I think also the guys from our team in the bunch was ready, but sometimes, some days you have bad legs and you have a bad day, and that's how it is. So I think for sure they were ready and focused. So yeah, that's how it is.
We had the feeling on TV that maybe it took maybe too long to stop you guys in the breakaway. Do you think maybe it was a decision thinking that Landa could follow the move?
Yeah, I don't know. It's always hard with the distance and the radio, but already on the climb I did my job for that first goal of our team with the kata in the breakaway, and then I could hear already the race car with the bunch, so I knew what was going on and tried to go easy, so I saved the legs until the descent. So in that perspective, I was pacing my tempo as good as possible to do as big as possible a difference for Mikel, but then the distance between the cars to Mauri and Kata was much longer, and there sometimes you don't reach each other.
This day proved to be quite difficult for the GC men. It looked like you were on the ropes for a second, but in the end it was Mikel Landa who lost buckets of time. How hard was it out there? What was going on with you in that moment that you were distanced?
Yeah, I just got distanced a little bit at the top. To be fair, it was actually super annoying because like EF had some guys in the front and they had this, the moto had a nice little job in front of them, so we were pulling at what we can do. Anyway, we got back at the bottom of the descent, but yeah, in the end there wasn't much of a gap at the top, but it was really hard today.
When that break formed, I mean, I'm sure you were looking at the composition, you had the DSs in the earpiece. Your team, I made the decision, I assume, not to have men up the road. You could see EF and some of the other teams were cooking up something. What did you do to prepare for that moment? I mean, could you sense that they were going to launch on that last climb?
No, I genuinely had no idea. Maybe I'm naive or a bit oblivious, but I honestly didn't think that they would try something there. But the climb was harder than I thought it was going to be. It was really steep in some sections and then quite flat. But yeah, it was just, it'd be nice to have a day off, but that's clearly not going to happen now.
Not in the Vuelta. Cycling's cutthroat. Just how cutthroat is it? Because Mikel Landa losing buckets of time on home roads today. Just how tough can it be on days like this in bike racing?
I mean, he's been good the whole race, and then you have one step wrong, and then you lose a bunch of time. Look at Sepp as well; he's been getting better every single day. Maybe it just wasn't really ready for it today, and then that happens. You know, it's fatigue is what it is.
Mark, I have a lot of questions because there was a lot of interesting tactics and racing going on out there today. First, just on the composition of the escape group with you, McNulty, and
Baroncini.
Yes. So what was the thinking behind that today, and also with you taking over the Mountains jersey from your teammate Jay Vine?
Yeah, we want to enter with the maximum riders as possible. We enter with Brandon, Baro, and me, and the pace was hard, and Brandon and Baro didn't have the best day. Then they dropped, and I continued pulling, and I tried to do my best, but today I didn't have my best legs.
Well, what about that final climb with around 6 kilometers to go? Steven Kruijswijk tried, but in the end, Kurt Pharma had the numbers. How surprising is that for a second division team to pick up their 3rd win here in the Vuelta España? Are you blown away by this?
Yes, they are very strong. They are doing a very good Vuelta, 3 stage victories. Then I only can say congrats. The tactic was easy. They had 3 riders in this small group of, I think, 10, 13 riders, and they can play good, and they win the stage.
Finally, what is it with cycling? You know, that last 1 kilometer, it's always the same, it seems. The guy's up the road and everybody looks around and no one does anything. What was going on in that final 1K with Berrade up the road?
I didn't see. I dropped in the last small climb, and I went easy to the finish. But I think that he can enter alone, and then this is nice.
Well, congratulations and a well-earned win. How did you know when it was your moment? You countered right after Steven Kruijswijk did his attack. How did you know that was your time?
In the beginning of the last hill, I was in the back of the group, and I had in my mind to surprise everyone from the back and with higher speed to try to surprise them, and I did it. Then I go with Steven, and in the first moment I thought he was like playing a bit, but I said I'm gonna try, and he couldn't follow my wheel, and I said time trial till the end.
Look, was the pressure on? Because in that final selection, Kern Pharma had 3 riders with Mikel, Castrillo, and yourself. Was the pressure on to win the stage? I know you guys already have 2 wins in this Vuelta, but was the pressure to win today?
Yes, maybe before the Vuelta we couldn't imagine that situation, but when we were three. In the car, Mikel Nieve told that we had to play it smart and always one in the front, and that's what we did.
Look, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is your first pro win. You're from nearby Navarra, and that's the team's base as well. How massive, how big is this for you?
It's something incredible. I couldn't believe it. I've been in this team since the beginning, and I'm part of this family, and I hope to be always here. But it's a victory of everyone of the team, and I'm the one who today crossed the line first. But couldn't be Pau, Castrillo also, and that's the key.
What's this victory going to mean for the team Kern Pharma? Because second division team going up against World Tour teams like Bahrain Victorious and other teams here, big budget teams do not yet have a victory, and you guys count 3.
Yes, I think it's going to be a step up for the team. A lot of people is watching our performance and our attitude. So maybe it's going to change for better everything, and to be in this level with this budget, it's something to keep in mind.
Gracias. Thank you.